Whenever you guys are ready. All right, you thought we had a spirited day today. Guys bounced back. I like the competitive situations. Got some situational work. Continuing to ramp up and make sure we're on point in the details. Today's big third, fourth down situational day, and it's one of the things that Miami presents a lot of challenges in those situations. Their third down defensive packages, offensively. How they try to isolate the playmakers. Had some good work on those situations, and we got to make sure we get all of it cleaned up here these next few days as we get ready for Saturday. But I thought it was a good response, and still got to continue to push throughout the week. All right.
Seemed like especially in the 7-on-7, 11-on-11 stuff, seemed like the receivers, guys catching the ball, seemed like that.
Yeah, they did, and I mean this has been one of the better weeks that I think our offense has had on Tuesday, Wednesday. Still some mistakes that showed up. And some of the base things, some of the base things game plan that might have had a tweak here or there. But I thought our guys, I think they've competed throughout the course of the week, and those guys have had a nice Tuesday, Wednesday.
What was the message yesterday to the defense in terms of responding? I guess and what specifically did you see from those guys today?
Yeah, just making sure that as you go into a game plan, there might be a handful of things that you look to implement throughout the course of through a Tuesday, and I thought at times there was some hesitation that showed up yesterday. And at the end of the day, man, we got to go and we got to play fast. We got to make sure that we get as you're trying to communicate, as you're trying to be efficient in that, it's still the intensity of the rep, the emphasis on the fundamental. There might be a correction that needs to be made, with an alignment or maybe a pass off here or there. But at the end of the day, man, let's come out here and let's maximize the rep, and sometimes allow your effort to maybe be the difference in success for what we're trying to achieve. And I thought those guys came back out today and had some good energy. Guys were popping around, for the most part. I mean, but it was that's what I want to see. And early in the week you can live with a mistake here or there, especially if it's something that's specific to a game plan. But there's the attitude and the approach is what needs to be consistent.
Do you have a favorite rivalry moment before coming to Florida State?
Oh, I mean, there's been a few. I'd say at each place, you have. You have those games, and when I was at Memphis, it was Houston, and it was one that each week, each time that you played those guys, it was going to be a battle. We saw some great swings of that. I was at Arizona State. That and the Arizona rivalry was as big as there was in of anything in that state, and so I mean those. I think back to those games and. Just been pretty successful in those matchups throughout the course of my career, and I love the preparation, I love the emotion, I love the response that you see, because on all of them you see swings, and we're going to see swings here on Saturday, and that was one of the messages to the team as we wrapped up is that I'm not worried about the emotion being there. It's the control and the response. It's making sure that when you have a good play, when you have a bad play, where does that allow you to go, mentally, and can you still stay focused? And we've kind of seen that a little bit these last couple of weeks. I mean, you look at the Clemson game. You're up in the fourth quarter on the road. All of it, some good things are happening. And then some critical mistakes that show up that cost you in that moment. This last week we kind of saw the same thing. You feel the momentum swing going positive. We get we put ourselves in a position, but then just a couple fundamental things that show up that you're not able to. We weren't able to sustain that, and it's what I've talked about, the consistency. It's emotionally, it's physically, and in our technique and fundamentals. And on the flip side, we've seen some of the positives there through in the month of October where we saw some of those things that really emerged and allowed us to finish games. And that's what we need Saturday.
You can't influence it directly, but what does it mean, especially at senior day, the crowd, having that kind of crowd that you like?
I mean, that the atmosphere is everything. It's a home field advantage. I love there's nothing like it. My first year it was crazy just because of COVID and not really getting to have that experience. But even just throughout this year, I mean, the Notre Dame game, that was was unreal. And you saw you felt the emotion. I mean, this last week. I mean, even there in the second half, when we started to make that run. I mean, it's incredible. Our fan base, just the passion, and we need that to be a big impact here this week. And to honor the seniors that we have, the work that they put in. I mean, it'll mean everything to those guys.
How's Jordan doing in terms of getting further into game condition?
No, I mean he looked good, and it's usually that first day back that you always kind of where it jumps on guys, and guys like Travis J, it really jumped on him, the DB position, just all that he has to do. But I thought they looked better today. I felt that they moved around, it didn't jump on them as much, and so I thought Jordan and Travis, some of those guys, Dylan Gibbons has gotten some more work. So I mean it's good to see those guys out and getting better acclimated to condition.
They sort of turned the page, it looks like, on the back end of their defense, at least in terms of talent, or the guys that are running in there on the roster. Are they doing anything different with these younger guys on the back end?
I mean, it is a very, very talented group, and you look at the 3 freshman safeties. I mean, they're impressive. I mean, the playmaking ability, the range, size that they have. I mean, it's you could see the confidence that they've grown with throughout the season. They're playing faster. It's a talented group. I mean, and you see, as they've gone through the year and the way that they're playing, I would say they're playing as much more of a cohesive unit, just with each of those reps. But the guys are good tacklers. They've done a nice job, and they're going to present some challenges. But you can see as that's kind of grown. We have some similar, like Amari Cooper. He's kind of gone through that same progression, and now his role and how he's playing and the things that he's shown and done. And that's what you get usually with the freshman class. And they definitely have a group of three impressive freshman safeties.
What was the biggest play high school Mike made in a rivalry game?
In high school, I can't remember. Can't remember the high school. But,
college Mike, UCA.
Last play, last touch of my career, 65-yard touchdown.